is that every state in the Union is going to be forced to say marriage can be between anybody for any reason. But I don't think that they're going to stop there. The homosexual, I don't think they're going to stop there. I've read the Bible, and I've got some verses, and this is primarily a Bible Watchman video broadcast. One news article, lots of scriptures. And I see something in the scriptures here that I went from being angry to being scared and sad, because I know, I don't just speculate, I'm not forecasting like a weatherman, I know where this is all going to end. The homosexual rights movement in this country, and the sin of sodomy, and let's include everything in here, the sin of sodomy, the sin of fornication, the sin of pornography, the sin of everything that's related to that, is not going to stop until America is completely dead. Remember, lust, when it hath conceived, bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Now, somebody was talking to me the other day, and they were trying to share our ministry with somebody they knew, a pastor or something like that, and they said, yeah, that Mike Hoggard, he believes in conspiracy theories. I mean, yeah, he's just a little crazy. Okay, something wrong with Mike Hoggard because he believes in a conspiracy. Yeah, I do. I not only believe in a conspiracy, I'm going to show it to you from the Bible. Psalm chapter 2. Why did the heathen rage? The rage of this homosexual group, of all these groups, they are fierce in what they're doing. Why did the heathen rage? And the people imagine a vain thing. The imaginations of man is vanity. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together. Are you listening to this? Because that is the definition of conspiracy. When they take counsel together. They take counsel together against the Lord. That's a conspiracy. So they're meeting together. Remember in the days of Jesus, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, people on two opposite spectrums of religious thought in Israel, all of a sudden now they're grouping together and they're having a meeting and they're going, what are we going to do with this Jesus? I mean, this guy's killing us. Jesus has got to be brought down. And not only him, but everybody that follows him has got to be brought down. So look at the verse. The rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. That, number one, that's Christ. Number two, all of those who are in Christ are his anointed. So not only is the conspiracy against God, but it's against all of God's people. And if you think that you're going to be exempt from this, the only way that you're going to be exempt from their planned destruction of you is that if you're not saved, then you're exempt. Okay? And here's their conspiracy. Verse 3, let us break their bands. I have on my finger here a band. It is something that over the years I have learned to treasure this. I haven't been the best husband in the world. I haven't been the perfect husband in the world. But over the years, this band has meant something to me. And I wear it proudly. They want to break that band. That's why they're going after marriage. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. The cords, the binding power of Jesus Christ and the Ten Commandments, and the church says shacking up is wrong. Shacking up, fornication, living together, it's wrong. I don't care if it's your daughter and your son doing it, it's wrong. They say, you know what, we don't like that. Let's cast their cords from us. The homosexuals say, you know what, we don't like the fact that you say that what we're doing is wrong. We're going to cast your cords away from us so that we can do whatever we want to do. And that's the goal. So that's the conspiracy. Where does it end? Remember how sin progresses. They will not stop. See, now they're going to conquer marriage. See, they gained acceptance in the early 70s, through the 80s, through the 90s, and now into the 21st century. The homosexuals in this country have gained acceptance by way of mass media. There's no doubt in my mind about it. Norman Lear, who created All in the Family, broke the ground, and there were others that soon followed that basically made acceptance of a homosexual lifestyle normal. These people are normal. They just love a guy. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Now it's accepted. In fact, now not only is it accepted, it's cool to be gay. It's cool to see two gay guys walking around, and they're just so funny. It's cool to see two gals walking around. I mean, this is like, you know, Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, she's like the hippest gal on TV. Isn't she so cool? I mean, she's funny. We like her. Not only is it just like cool. How many guys in this country watch pornography that love to see two women together? This is where we are. So they've made progression, and now they're going to dominate the marriage scene in this country. But that's not the end. That's not where they're going to stop. They're going to keep going. So I'm going to look at some scriptures, and I'm going to show you where they're going from the Bible. Genesis chapter 13, verse 10. This is interesting. I want you to look at this. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. Before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Before God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, do you know what Sodom looked like? Looked like the Garden of Eden. I mean, there was water everywhere, and trees and plants and animals and life. There was life everywhere in Sodom. And Lot is looking at this and going, you know what? Man, if I raise cattle down here, man, they're going to have plenty of water to drink. They're going to have plenty of grass to eat. And man, they're going to make me more cattle, and I am going to be rich. And that's what Lot chose. That was before God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That was before that happened. Now, that was, let's see here, that was verse, chapter 13, Genesis chapter 13, verse 10. You know, it was even as the garden of the Lord. But now watch this, Genesis 13:13. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. But, there's always a but in the Bible. And we hate those things. We hate those. We like the original statement. We like that the land of Sodom is just like the garden of the Lord. Oh, see, it's like the garden of the Lord. But the men of Sodom were wicked, sinners exceedingly before the Lord. In Genesis chapter 18, the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous. God is looking at a nation built up of men and women who they didn't have Charles Darwin's book, The Origins of Species, in their hand. They didn't have the Bhagavad Gita in their hand. They didn't have Morals and Dogma in their hand. They had this in their hand, and they set foot upon a new land, and they said, this is going to be God's land. And everything that we set out to do, we're going to do according to this book. We're going to rule over our cities with this book. We're going to teach our children in our schools according to this book. And our higher institutions of learning are going to be based upon the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what they're going to be based on. And now God looks